Good afternoon, everybody. If you are streaming live, wherever you're watching us, welcome to the CommMaster Challenge. This has been a journey so far, and we are at the debate round. And today is going to be a very, very interesting one. So if you're here to support your friends, you're here to support somebody, just make sure you are supporting them well. And the goal of this whole debate is not just to, no, we want to have debate. We want to hear people speak. No, that's not the goal. The goal is to help people become a better thinker, a better communicator. Right? It's not the it's not the usual. It's not the usual. I beg to differ kind of thing. No, it's not the usual. It's the bringing people to the point of being able to think deeply and be able to process ideas and communicate it properly. It's called the trivium method. You are able to conceive ideas and you are able to properly process it, think it through, and you communicate it properly to your world, and that is how you change the world. So today is going to be an amazing back-to-back challenge from each of our participants. And today we're going to be having our first participant, which is Mirabel Ogbona. I'm going to bring her on stage very soon. All right. Mirabel Ogbona, our topic is oratory skills should be the only mandatory criterion for leadership. Right. She's going to be supporting the motion. So Mirabel, if you can hear me, let me bring her on stage first. All right. Mirabel, you're live. If you can hear me, your time is going to start in few seconds, right? Are you ready?
Yes,
Are you
I'm
ready?
ready. Yes,
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Your time is going to start. Yeah, your time is going to start in few seconds. So get ready. Once you hear me say go, you just fire on. And your time starts now.
The greatest revolution began with words. Nations have risen, hearts have been stirred, minds have moved, not by silence but by speech. Today, I stand proudly to affirm the motion. Oratory skills should be the only mandatory criteria for leadership. My name is Ugo Mirabel. And before we go deep into this topic, let's ask, what exactly are oratory skills? Oratory skills goes beyond talking. It is the ability to communicate clearly, influence deeply, and inspire massively. Oratory is what turns ideas into actions, followers into believers, and leadership into a movement. It is the power to it is the power to communicate clearly. It is the power to transfer belief and lead with words before actions follow. And lead with words before actions follow. In a world where leaders have to in a world where leaders have to connect with diverse people, defend decisions, and spark hope. Oratory is not
Mirabel, we can see you, but we stopped hearing you.
The greatest revolution began with words. Nations have risen, hearts have been stirred, minds have moved, not by silence but by speech. Today, I start proudly to affirm the motion oratory skills should be the only mandatory criterion for leadership because before a leader can act, it must first inspire. Before a nation can move, it must first believe. And it is oratory, not spreadsheet or strategies, that unlocks belief. But before we delve deep into this topic, let's ask what exactly are oratory skills? Oratory skills goes beyond talking. It is the ability to communicate clearly, inspire deeply, and influence massively. Oratory is what turned words into actions, followers into believers, and leadership into a movement. It is the power to transfer beliefs, command attention, and lead with words before actions follow. Oratory is the voice of leadership, but without a voice, leadership is invincible. What then is leadership? Leadership is the act of inspiring, influencing, and mobilizing people towards a shared vision. And all of this begins first with oratory. In a world where leaders have to connect deeply with people, spark hope, defend decisions, and explain complex issues, oratory is not a luxury. It is the lifeline for leadership. So when I say it should be the only mandatory criterion, which on its own is a non-negotiable requirement for selection and evaluation, I'm not saying it should be the only skill a leader should possess. What I'm saying is it should be the foundational skill, without which every other skill remain unseen, unheard, and unfelt. Oratory just cannot be absent. To support this, I'll present two major arguments. First, oratory leadership is communication. The foundation of leadership is not power or technical expertise. It is the ability to rally people, win trust, and drive change through words. History's greatest leaders, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Nelson Mandela, were not defined by their credentials or managerial prowess, but by their unmatched oratory. They were able to inspire people. They were able to inspire people, inspire hope, and unite together a broken nation. Winston Churchill held Britain together in its darkest hours through speeches. You cannot inspire change, build loyalty, or convey visions without words. Leadership equals or visions plus communication. Without oratory, vision dies in silence and leadership shrinks. Steve Jobs did not code Apple's products, he sold them. Barack Obama was a freshman senate with little political clout, yet oratory took him to the White House. Even negative examples like Adolf Hitler shows how words can sway masses for better or worse.
All right, thank you, Mirabel. That was powerful. Your time is up. Thank you so much. We're going to take you backstage now while your opposing partner comes up immediately. Chico Dili, if you can hear me, can you hear me? Because I cannot see you, but I can. Chico Dili is off the line. We want her back immediately.
Leadership is more than just words. It is service, grit, and heart. My name is Onyeze Chikodili, here to I stand here to oppose the motion which says oratory skills is the only mandatory skill for leadership. What is leadership? Now, leadership is simply the art of influencing people towards a cause, persuading people to to believe in something that you believe in. However, to say that leadership should simply be about words, or to define leadership as simply just being able to being able to speak, as just being about words, can can lead to can lead to a misdiagnosis of what leadership is all about. Now let's look at these examples of Barack Obama and Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela Nelson Mandela is a great leader. History shows it. But what brought him support was more than his words, it was his actions. Spending 27 years in prison for a cause he believed in moved people to support him, and eventually when he got out, he was elected as president. Now, if Barack Obama simply just simply spoke without actions, it would that would just have nullified the effect of his leadership. And we have seen cases of people like Adolf Hitler who have led people here, yes, but it was a bad example of leadership, and it led to and his leadership led to the to the to the death of millions of people. Now, if we say, oh, it is just people who are good speakers are good leaders, we risk empowering drug leaders and cultists as as good leaders, like, as examples of good leaders. Now, research shows that emotional intelligence, people skills like empathy, courage, these things enable leaders to function properly. And Daniel Coleman, a renowned psychologist, actually made this research, and and in a interview he did with the Harvard Business Review, he stated that emotional intelligence is very, very key in leadership. So we see that more that, in fact, what we even give credence to your words is actually the actions that you put. The is actually the this your emotional intelligence, the actions that you put in place. So I would like to conclude with this: leadership is more than just words. It is service, grit, and heart. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We are going for the rebuttal round now in 30 seconds. So, but before the rebuttal round, let's go for this short break. Thank you. Yes, we are back again. Now is the rebuttal round, and Mirabel Bona is going to be going for 4 minutes. Mirabel Bona, once you hear me say go, then your time starts immediately, right? Um, your time starts now.
Let me begin by reinstating my stance. Oratory is not just a requirement for leadership, it is the very force that brings leadership to life. Leadership disconnected from communication, effective at its best and dangerous at its worst. Now, to address some claims that surfaced from my opponent, she spoke about actions being louder than words. But then again, words are what bring these actions to life. Conviction has to come first before actions can take place. If conviction does not happen, the people would not be able to follow through with whatever the leader has to offer. Even if the vision is a shared vision, I must first believe that through your leadership, I'll be able to achieve my aims, because oratory reveals competence even before results do. Think about board meetings, um, think about elections and team presentation. We actually hear these people speak first. No one waits to see what they might do. They assess what the leader says he will do and how convincingly he says it. Without oratory, you would rarely be given a chance to prove your competence, because with words you communicate how effectively you can handle and carry out something, and that is what make people believe in you before they follow and see what actions you can actually put out there. And she also spoke about using it wrongly, but I believe that every other tool can be abused. Money can be abused, power can be abused, but that does not mean we should throw away the two. That does not mean we should throw away the two. It's like banning fire because someone has got burnt. Oratory, when used with purpose and value, it's a force for transformation. Thank you. And let me ask, would you follow can you follow a leader that you don't understand? Can you share a vision that was not can you believe in a vision that was not clearly shared? How do you unify people without words? You can't, and you don't. We've seen leaders rise not because they had answers to everything, but because they had the courage to speak even where silence was safe, and they spoke in ways that people understand and could follow. History's greatest leaders have risen that are history greatest leaders who have drove change, steered revolution, and united people all had one thing in common. They could communicate and the world listened. It is not just about sounding good. It's about being clear, being heard, and being trusted. A leader can have a vision, but if it is not clearly communicated, A leader can have a vision, but if he stays inside, it dies. Oratory is what brings it to life. So if you must choose one thing, just one thing to require of every leader, let it be oratory. Because when confusion rises and storms come, people don't follow titles, they follow the voice that gives them hope. Thank you.
All right, that was an amazing one, Mirabel. That was a strong rebuttal round and a closing speech. Thank you so much. We're gonna bring the next person on stage. Um, then we're gonna take you off the stage now. Thank you so much. Chikodili, you are live,
Typically, you are
and
live
yeah,
and
and your time
your
starts
time
now.
starts now.
Leadership, let me reinstate what leadership is. Leadership is more than just words, it is service, grit, and heart. The world does not remember Adolf Hitler as a great leader. The world remembers him as a tyrant. Several, and if you look at the ecosystem of, there's a general ecosystem of the political space in Africa, we can see that a lot of great speakers have risen. A lot of great speakers have dazzled people with a lot of words. But what actually moves people, what actually makes people to believe in what they're talking about, it is the actions that they have, it is the actions that they have done in the past that makes people believe in what you do. When when storms arise, or when there's confusion all around, what will give credence to your words are actions and how you treat the people around you. Oratory skills, the motion states oratory skills should be the only mandatory skill for leadership. If we say it should just be oratory skills alone, we risk empowering a lot of toxic leaders like Adolf Hitler, Genghis Khan, and so much more. Even in our, I won't just even in excuse me, if even we risk empowering a lot of toxic leaders, and this is bad, negative for us. Because for our governments, for our private and religious institutions to thrive, we need people who don't just speak words. We need people who actually have actions, whose actions back up their words. And it is true that you need words to persuade people. You need to communicate clearly. But if you don't have actions to back up your words, you you basically find it will be very difficult for you to persuade people to join you, to believe in what you believe in. The reason why people like Adolf Hitler, for instance, could could persuade a large no, why he could persuade a large number of Germans to believe in to believe that Jewish people were quote and unquote evil and they deserve to be killed or persecuted, was because he had shown enough proof. He had shown enough evidence. So, oh, I care about Germany. I care about you guys. So, and I believe that if we persecute this particular group of people, then our country will be great. And that's the reason why they could believe him. And I would just like to just end with this. A lot of leaders have risen in the past and even in the present day. But what sustains leadership is service. What sustains leadership is service. South Africans did not need Mandela to Mandela to have a microphone before they knew that, oh, he cared about about them. They saw his works, they saw what he did for them. And this is why I strongly believe that oratory skills should not be the only mandatory skill for leadership, but emotional intelligence should be. Thank you.
All right,
All
that was an
right, that was
amazing presentation. Thank you so much, Chikodali. Um, all right, everybody. If you're listening right now, we are done with the first team, and we're moving to the next team of debaters. So, if you are here to support your friend, your classmate, whoever you're supporting, please leave a comment. Um, let encourage them. Just make sure you show them encouragement, right? So, before we bring the next team on stage, let's go on a short break. All right, it's the second round, guys, and the only person we have on this team is Praise. All right. For some reasons, the opposing side is not going to be participating tonight based on some factors. So she's going to be the only one. So we believe she should play to her best of game. Looks like she's talking already. Well, your time, Praise, if you can hear me, your time starts now. Praise, if you can hear me, your time start now. Unmute your mic and start presenting. Praise, your time is reading already.
I'm able to unmute my
Praise, your life already. Your time start now. I mean, your time is already reading. Praise, you are live. Unmute your mic. Your time is reading already.
For me, I can't even message them. Oh my goodness.
All right. As it is, it seems Praise is having some technical difficulties over there. So we might just give her a bit of time to bring her back on stage. Uh, let me try to reach to her backstage. All right, Praise, you're back on stage. If you can hear me, you can go live now. After this, just after 30 seconds, if you're not live, we are going to move to the next team. Thank you. Your time starts now. All right, everybody, we are going to the next round. And now we have Augustina. We have the next team taking the stage right now. So Augustina will be the first to go. Their topic is only effective communicators hold true power in society. Only effective communicators hold true power in society. So, and Augustina is on the supporting side, while Folari Adeogo is on the opposing side. Right now, we're going to be having Augustina come on stage for our own first round presentation. You have only 5 minutes to do that, right? Once I bring you on stage now, your time starts immediately. Are you ready? Yeah, look at that. All right. Your time starts now.
Honorable adjudicators, esteemed audience, and my worthy opponents, tonight we debate a motion that may sound simple, but in truth, it carries the weight of history, business, politics, and
Augustina, we stopped hearing you, and your
so
time is
it's not
still
Praise that's here. It's Augustina Ogiji. I was invited, but it seems Praise is the one to go. So I would.
Yeah, no, no. Praise was not, praise missed our time already, right? So it's your time. You can continue. Thank you.
So am I to go on, sir?
Yes, please.
Augustina is to go on. Okay, okay. So please, I hope my 5 minutes starts counting now. Yes. So that's mistake. So, honorable adjudicators, which is this?
I guess Augustina is having network issues, right? And our time is counting. That's the funny part. Augustina, you're back on stage. Your time is still counting. Are you ready to continue now? Augustina, you're back on stage and your time is still counting. Are you ready to continue now?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me, sir? I want to confirm that I'm being heard before I go on.
Bold. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, okay then. Honorable adjudicators, esteemed audience, and my worthy opponents, tonight we debate a motion that may sound simple, but in truth, it carries the weight of history, business, politics, and even our personal life. Only effective communicators hold true power in society. Before I go further, let me explain two key terms so we are all clear. Effective communication means more than just speaking. It's the ability to express ideas clearly, to inspire trust, and to connect with people in a way that moves them to act. It is not just about talking, it's about being understood and being believed. True power. It is not just temporary control or wealth. It is lasting influence, the ability to shape decisions, inspire movements, and create change that endures beyond one person and one moment. With these terms in mind, I, Augustina Ogigi, stand here to say yes. It is not money, it is not technology, and not even force that sustains power. It is communication. Why? Because communication is the foundation upon which every other form of power rests. Let me begin with a simple truth. Power without communication is invisible. You can have the greatest idea, the largest fortune, or even the most brilliant strategy. But if you cannot share it, if you cannot explain it or inspire others to believe in it, then it might as well not exist. Think of the four levels of power, which thinkers like Myron Golden expounded on. At the third level, he mentions what's communication, and he calls it one of the strongest. Why? Because at this level, ideas stop being locked inside one person's head and start shaping the world. A great idea that stays hidden is powerless. A great idea that is communicated can actually change the course of history. Look at the leaders we remember: Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Winston Churchill. Each of them faced systems that were greater than themselves. But what gave them lasting power was not wealth, it was not weapons, it was words. It was their ability to move hearts, share public opinion, and turn crowds into movements. Now, compare this with people we forget. Many brilliant inventors, thinkers, or even entrepreneurs had genius because they lacked. Am I still to go on? I keep hearing praise should go on, and I hear myself, and I'm still there. Which am I to do, sir?
Please go on. Please go on. I guess you're reading old
Now let's
messages.
compare this with people we forget. Many brilliant inventors, thinkers, or even entrepreneurs that had genius, but they lacked communication skills, so their names faded. As I would often say, the best are never the best kept secrets. Those who are known, those who rise, are those who communicate their story. They do not hide, they do not stay silent. Even in today's world, the truth stands. Why is Elon Musk more influential than many engineers who may be technically sharper? Because he communicates a vision on social media, in his interviews, in bold statements that people always remember. Why do certain companies thrive while others fail? Because their brand is a story told well. So I frame my case simply by saying money, influence, or knowledge may look powerful, but what makes them real is communication. What makes power last is communication. Without it, power fades, but with it, power spreads, inspires, and endures. And this is why I firmly stand for the motion that says only effective communicators hold true power in society. Thank you.
All right, Augustina, thank you so much. That was an amazing presentation. And you were reading old messages, not new messages in the studio. So they were not current messages. Thank you so much. That was a powerful presentation. So we'll take you off stage right now, and we're going to bring Folarin up stage. So be preparing for your rebuttal round. Thank you so much. Hello, Folarin. Are you
Hello, sir. Good
ready?
evening. Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
All right. Your time starts. Yeah.
Now,
Your time starts now.
good evening, Mr. Moderator. Good evening, judges. Good evening, my fellow CommMasters. Good evening to all our supporters here. Good evening, my friends. Good evening to everybody here. Thank you so much for joining the call today. And thank you for your support all through this journey. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I really want to appreciate the organizers of this for this great opportunity to speak up today. My name is Folarin Adego Abigail CommMaster 012, and I'm here to oppose the motion which says only effective communicators hold true power in the society. Let me say the topic again. Only effective communicators hold true power in society. Only effective communicators hold true power in society is saying that you are excluding money, you say you are excluding power, you say you are excluding influence, you are excluding innovation, and you are just boxing power into only effective communication. So when you say only effective communicators hold true power in the society, you're just saying that even if you have the highest degree, even if you whoever you know, even if you have money cars, you're just stopping power, you're just giving power a limit to only effective communicators. Now power is wild. Is a force. Power is not something that you can box. I'm trying to explain the topic to you all here so you understand what the topic actually means. Now, I'm not trying to exclude communication. I'm not trying to exclude effective communicators. What I'm trying to do is to tell you that with effective communication, there are other factors that add to together to hold power because power is multifaceted, and you cannot just say, "Oh, power is just effective communication." Now, I want you all can type, you can go to ChatGPT right now, go to Google Chrome right now and type who or what holds people in society. I promise you, you're not just going to see effective communication or effective communicators. You're going to see more than one factors that holds people in the society. And you're even going to see effective communication intertwined with the rest. So they all work together. It does not just end at only effective communication. So now, while I was doing my research for this topic, one thing that really stood out to me was the familiar phrase we've always heard while we were kids, while we were younger. The actions speak louder than words, actions speak louder than words. That really spoke to me. And I was like, now I actually understand the meaning while I was going through my research. Adolf Hitler was a very powerful man during his time. He was known for brutal force. He was feared because he had power. He did not have power because he could effectively communicate. When that was added to the things that led to his having power, what really stood out, what really made everybody know Adolf Hitler was because he had power and he could show force. He could, he could, he had extreme weapons that people feared. People feared his power. Power is not mild. Power is wild. Power is something that is feared. So you cannot just say power is only given to effective communicators. No. I also want to call your attention to Aliko Dangote. Aliko Dangote is not known for giving the best speeches. Aliko Dangote is known for being the richest African, um, is for being the richest African man. Yes, you in your house right now, the sugar, salt you're probably using in your house is from Aliko Dangote. And because of Aliko Dangote, you're able to use all these things. Even the cement, if he tweaks one of his products, you'll see a massive impact, probably negative or positive, but there'll be a massive impact. I don't want to beat around the bush. I want to keep the nail on the head. Only is an adjective. Only is not, only is not, only is a limitation. Only here in this motion is trying to tell you that effective communication is given to is trying to tell you that power is given to only effective communicators. No, I'm going to end my argument here on two people. Two men, two German and Danjitman who created Skype. Their names are Niklas and Janusz. They created Skype and Skype brought the whole initiative about seeing the person you're seeing the person you are communicating with on the phone. Now, because of they brought the whole idea of Skype, it also gave other people the whole idea of, oh, we can actually create something like this. That's what people make, like, that's what's making this debate possible because of the online interaction that we have. And they were the one that created this initiative. Now, they were not known for being effective communicators, but they were known for what they create. They were known for their innovation. I'm just going to end my debate here. I'm not going to really waste too much of the time. I'm going to tell you that only effective communicators do not hold power in the society. And that does not mean they are not part of the people that hold power in the society. Thank you. I'm not
All
done, sir.
right, that was an amazing closing round. Thank you so much, Abigail.
I'm done, sir.
I can see you have so many people coming to support you here. Yeah, can you hear me? Thank you so much. Now we'll take you back to stage while you prepare for your rebuttal round and the closing round as well. Right. So we're going to bring Augustina on stage now, then we're going to take you backstage. Augustina, are you ready? I'm not certain Augustina is in the studio. While we wait for Augustina to come into the studio, let's go on a break. All right, we have Augustina upstage now, and she's going to be going for a rebuttal round and closing speech. Augustina, if you're ready, in 2 seconds, your time starts immediately. Yeah, your time starts
Okay,
now.
sir. Okay. I didn't get to hear the rebuttal of the points made by my opponents, but that's still not a problem because she might have said wealth is power. Having money, having affluence makes you powerful. But then that doesn't really make you powerful. There have been rich people who have gone from being rich to being paupers because of poor decisions made due to lack of communication, not understanding their idea, not being able to push their idea out, not being able to get investors. They lose all that they have in just a minute. Without trust, without being able to convince people to believe in you, to convince people to believe in your brand, to convince people to believe in what you push out there, your product, your image, your identity. Without all of that, wealth is worthless. If you say military force is true power, an army without a commander's voice is not really working. An army without a commander telling it, giving it its vision, telling it why that war is necessary, why what they are doing is necessary for the future, for their own growth, then that war wouldn't work. You just have them running around scared. That's why it's easy to say that an army of lions led by a sheep, someone who is not audacious, who cannot communicate, who cannot let them see the vision, would always fall, where an army of sheep led by a lion would win. If they say systems, law hold power, systems, laws, and all of this only stand because there is someone to communicate why those systems are there, to communicate the value those systems bring, to communicate the necessity of that law. Without all of that, you can't have anybody anybody believing in it, actually seeing it what, actually seeing it work. That's why many of the rules we have in Nigeria today do not work, because they are either not explained clearly, they are either not enforced clearly, the communication around them, the story about their use, it's not being told rightly. And because of this, we are in this state we are in the country. If they say knowledge is power, knowledge is not power, because knowledge locked in silence is powerless. Only communicators who can actually communicate that knowledge, what it can do and how it can benefit, how it can turn around situations, how that knowledge can build a brighter future, only those come out into the limelight, and only that knowledge is actually useful. So until you can communicate either your knowledge, until you can communicate why military force is necessary, until you can tell us why your wealth or what your wealth can do, then all of these are not forms of power. All of these die. All of these do not actually stand. All of these are not necessary. Because when communication is effective, it does more than it holds power together. It makes it last. The greatest leaders and builders of history are remembered not just for what they did, but for how they told their story, how they made people believe in them, how they made people see the relevance of what they do, how they made people see how that can be beneficial, how it can help not just one man, but a generation. Only when this happens, that's when their influence lives on. That's when their legacy is carried on. And this is the heart of the matter. When effective communication is in action, when hard times come, when economies shake or fortunes even shift, they can still come back strong. They can still stand. Their story and legacy remain strong because of them communicating it very well. So only effective communication lasts and remains alive in the hearts and minds of people. Only them, only they, effective communicators, are remembered for what they actually do. So I'll close with this. Power without communication is to die in silence. Power with communication, it never dies. It speaks, it lives, and it leads forever. Thank you.
That that was an amazing rebuttal round and a closing speech. Thank you so much, Augustina. Uh, I mean, this is getting really, really, really hot. I mean, really, really hot. Right. We're going to take you backstage right now, and I'm going to bring up Folarin again for our own rebuttal and closing round. Thank you. Folarin, you are live. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your time start now.
Okay. I'm back, guys. So, I'm not going to waste the time. I'm just going to go straight to the point. First of all, one thing I want to say is my fellow commander said that I emphasize more on wealth. I didn't emphasize only on wealth. I said wealth, influence, innovation. I mentioned a whole lot of other things. I mentioned wealth, innovation, force, law, in, influence. I mentioned a lot of things that add together with effective communication. My argument is not to put down effective communicators. No, my argument is to tell you that only if you read that statement or only effective communicators. No, my argument is to tell you that not only effective communicators hold true power in the society, but only no, but with effective communication, law, influence, innovation, wealth, and many other things, those are the forces, the factors that hold true power in the society. So I do not just focus on only wealth. So if you are one thing, I just want to throw something out there, right? What would you say to His Excellency President Tinubu, who is not known for giving the best speech? He's not known for being a public speaker, but he holds the highest political power in Nigeria. Now, this is to tell you that without being not only effective communication. No, you might not even know how to speak good English, but with money, with power and wealth, you can buy educators, you can buy what would you say to presidents that cannot that cannot speak well? They buy translators, they buy people that will help them translate what they are saying, translate many of them just speak there and these are big men, these are powerful people, these are big political people that hold power in society. My argument here today is to tell you that power is not mild, power is wild, power is a force. So you cannot just say, oh, power should is given to only effective communicators. No, there are a lot of things that, what would you say would to see big CEOs, top CEOs, top tech personnel that were using their apps that are probably behind the screen. They're just creating this app, creating this innovation, this creativity. They're just bringing out new things that we are using. They have our data. Now, if they want to, there are a lot of things that people do not even need to talk. People are not saying some things. People do not need to really say too much for power to move. Now, that doesn't mean they are not saying anything. When I said actions speak louder than words, now I'm not saying that words don't speak. I'm saying words speak. If you look at it, words speak, but action speaks louder. Now, this is to tell you that you might just, we've seen different American movies where the soldiers there do not even, some of them they don't need to talk. They already know sign language and they're taking in action. They're taking in action. This is to tell you that power is not only given to effective communication. Power is not given to effective communication. Big CEOs, big businessmen are the ones that come together to make decisions to what that will affect the economy that we live in right now. Many of these people can never communicate. Many of them never communicate. Get their translators beside them here. What they just do is, oh, let's do this, and they are good. Power should not be boxed to only effective communicators because we need to give the flowers to people that have created things, people that have brought big technology that we're using right now in today's world. Influencers, don't even go to it and go to influencing. There are people that are influencing the world now. It's not just what they're saying, it's just what they're wearing, what they are doing, and people are following it. I'm just going to tell you my discussion here that power is not just to only effective communicators. Power is given to other factors with effective communication because communication is intertwined. Communication with money, power, wealth, law, innovation, and influence makes the world move. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, for Larry. That was an amazing presentation. Thank you, Abigail. All right, we're going to take you backstage now, and that ends your rebuttal round and even your presentation for your team. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. If you've been watching so far, thank you so much. Uh, we are bringing Praise back on stage. She missed a round, and that was due to a technical issue, right? So we are still working to make this thing perfect. And definitely, you're going to get us on the next stage, and it's going to be super, super, super well structured and well more organized, right? So we are bringing Praise back on stage. Praise your life. Once you hear me, Mr. Bo, then you can proceed. So you have only 5 minutes. As before, you have 8 minutes, but now you have 5 minutes to present and to do the rebuttal round as well. Thank you so much. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your time starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Praise, and I'll be opposing the motion that debating society build better leaders than university degree. Debating society are those groups which train students with persuasion, communication, and public speaking, while a university degree is a formal certification in which a student gets after the required knowledge and skills has been impacted into that student. A leader is not just a person who leads, he guides, he influences, is accountable, is consistent in producing results, is trustworthy, and all these qualities they don't just happen by accident, they are nurtured and taught. While debating societies can help shaping confidence, however, confidence without competence is dangerous. And leadership today, it requires much more than oratory skills. It requires strategic decision making, critical thinking, managing crises, and these are areas where university degrees are better equipped and more intentional. While debating society train the tongues, university degrees they train both the hand, the minds, and the heart. Looking at their merit system, debating society often rewards the loudest in the room, who speaks the loudest, who argues the most, who is more eloquent. However, university they train students holistically. They reward based on merit, that is exams, research, and performance. Again, their leadership style. Again, their leadership style. See, debating societies, they focus only on speech. They have a narrow vision. But university degree, they build leaders more holistically. They train the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers. You build infrastructure. Let me remind us of a timeless example of Moses in the Bible. Moses was recorded as a great leader, though he was not eloquent. Aaron was his mouthpiece, yet he was recorded as a great leader. That is to show that leadership is not just about eloquence. It requires wisdom, courage, strategic thinking, informed decision, and these are areas where university degrees are better equipped and more intentional. Where a debater will convince a crowd with words, but they cannot build vaccines with words. The COVID-19 vaccines, they were not built from debating odds, rather from the structure, from the knowledge and experience that was gained from a university degree. Also, while debate for debating societies, only a small fraction of students join debating society, but university is a system of millions. So which is better, a system of 50 or a system which trains millions? Also, you see, having debaters as leaders can be quite dangerous. Why? Because debaters are trained to argue both sides of an argument, both the ones that are true and not true. But for leaders, we need people who can only stand for the truth, not anybody who can just can defend anything, even injustice. Also, university is not just a building, it is a place where raw materials they are refined to make lasting impact. Universities themselves, they are the real models of leadership. I mean, students see and even practice this leadership. There are various forms and expressions of leadership. Let's not also leave out the fact that universities are the one which train students with global technology to be able to tackle global issues. No debating society will teach you AI, no debating society will teach you infrastructure. While a debating society can teach you how to argue food insecurity, however, it is only a university degree that will teach you how to solve food insecurity for continents. According to Kevin Dom in 2014, stated 5 ways in which a university degree can help build leaders. He said it can help you with discipline, resources, credibility, and connection and process. And no debating society can ever create the knowledgeable experience that exists at a university. Let's look at some examples. According to the PEW and UN statistics in 2023, 83% of world leaders, they had a university degrees and not just debaters. 90% of the Nobel Prize winners also, they had a university degree and not just debaters. India has had 14 prime ministers, and the most successful of them were engineers, lawyers, economists, and not just debaters. And also, even the worst leaders were very brilliant speakers. Talk of Adolf Hitler. You see, Adolf Hitler, when we remember Adolf Hitler, we don't remember him as a leader. We remember him as a warning. Yet he was a very brilliant speaker. That is to show that speech alone doesn't make a leader. We need competence, we need accountability, and we need trustworthiness. Let's also come from this perspective. The society has often locked women in leadership, and our debating society, they've done little to change that. They've done only little to change that. But with university degrees, we've had various numerous female leaders now in leadership. We have so many of them now in leadership, and that is something that our debating society has done little to change. Well, the opposition might want to say that, but debating society can help to build quick decision making, thereby raising students who can think on the spot. Well, why quick decision making is actually very good, but let me tell you, leadership is not just about accuracy, it's not just about speed, it's about accuracy, because a fast wrong decision is worse than a slow one. Also, opposition may want to raise the fact that yes, corrupt leaders are also rising out of university degrees. But let me tell you as well that you don't blame hospitals for sicknesses. Thereby, you will not blame universities for corruption in our country, for corruption in leadership, because university has already handed them the two. Therefore, blame the people and not blame the process. Also, when debating society, it can help create visibility, it can help, okay, let people know you from early stage. But then that is not what we need in leadership. Leadership is not just about visibility. I mean, in Instagram, you get visibilities on Instagram as well, but that doesn't make those influencers, that doesn't make them global leaders. It doesn't make them leaders. Leadership actually requires depth. And opposition also might want to raise that debating societies, they help with communication, and influence is one of the important skills in communication. And like I said earlier, if communication alone was not enough, debating society will not exist. Communication is essential for debating society. Also, let me say this before I round up. You see, saying that debating society build better leaders is ignoring the fact that university already gives us the best of both worlds. I mean, most universities, they have debating clubs, they have student unions, they have various expressions of leadership, but no debating society can create the laboratories and the simulations that exist in a university. All they can do is just to train you for a contest. While a debating society will train you for a contest, a university, the university degree experience you gain for a university degree will train you for a lifetime leadership, and not just a contest. Also, while a debating society will win you an applause in a hall, but a university degree will train you to provide solutions for global problems. Well, let me give an example also of the law degree. The law degree, as we know, law is a course that actually requires advocacy skills. But one thing is that sorry, the example I was giving was about law. That law is a course that actually requires advocacy. And one thing we see that we can say that that is the course that actually needs debating society. But then even within the course, there are courses like moot and mock trials, there are courses like Nigerian legal system, legal writing, clinical legal education, just to help with leadership. Also, okay, let me round up with this. In conclusion, why debating societies will help shape your voice, university degrees will help shape your vision, and a voice without a vision is just as good as nothing. Empty barrel makes the loudest noise. Thank you.
All right, that was amazing, praise. Despite the technical challenge, you still came through, and that was fire for fire. I mean, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, praise. All right, if you're still following us, thank you so much. We truly appreciate your support. Thank you for supporting your debaters and anybody you can support. Thank you so much. Right, we need you to know that this is not just debate. Well, this is the goal. Is now, oh, we want people to debate. The goal is that we want people to think. We want thinkers. We want people who can bring out their ideas, right, and communicate it to the world. Use their word to influence the society. That's the goal of this whole thing. That's the goal of this whole thing, right? And for the announcements of the winner of this particular stage, and we're going to be doing the announcement tomorrow, right? So they're going to be giving you feedback on your groups, on your communities. They're going to be giving you feedback of who won this particular. Each team has a winner, right? And each of those winners are going to the next stage. That doesn't stop every other person going to the next stage, which is the last stage. The last stage is quite simple. They are going to let you know what you're supposed to do to support them at the last stage, right? At this level, ladies and gentlemen, what we have witnessed today goes beyond debate. Honestly, it goes beyond debate. We have seen courage, we have seen voices. Definitely, I want you guys to believe that everything you've heard today is just the beginning of so much. We have a vision for those people, all right? Just for you to know, this is not just a debate where we bring people in, or where people just come and talk, and when they are done, we just let them go, and there's nothing. Apart from the reward, yeah, the winner is going to be rewarded cash and as well as gain some resources as well. Um, but it doesn't end there. We're going to continue training them because our goal is to train the next most powerful voices in this nation and even beyond. All right, that's our goal. So we have seen voices rise today, So, and we've seen them display courage. I mean, you can see that some of them are challenges, but they were still able to push through. I mean, not everybody can show up this way. Some of them, this is their first time. Some of them, probably this is their second time. But I can tell you, this is a very major milestone in their lives. I mean, this is a very major milestone in their life, right? And we have seen the undeniable power of words to shape thought, so to steer emotion and to inspire change. So each participant as that spoke today has proven one thing, majorly they've proven one thing to us. Communication is not just about talking. Communication is not just about talking, it is about moving people, it is about clarity, it is about presence, it is about courage to share your truth, and even when your voice shakes. I literally saw some of them. Funny. I wish you could see them inside the studio. Some of them were literally shaking before I brought them on stage. But yeah, that's what it is, right? Overcoming their fear. So our debaters, all of you have reminded us that oratory is not just performance, right? It is leadership. And leaders are not just always the loudest, but they are always the clearest, right? And today you showed us what clarity looks like in action. Thank you. Thank you so much. And to everybody who came to support them, and the communities they built, and everybody that is supporting them from the beginning, and even as you're going to be supporting them at the last stage as well, thank you. Your energy has been the wind behind these their voices that is rising. You are the one encouraging them. Some of you wouldn't know what this means to most of them as you're encouraging them. Thank you so much for encouraging our speakers so they could prove themselves. You give them a chance to prove themselves. So you're proving that no great voice ever stands alone, right? It is shaped by people that did stand by them and support them, right? So, CommMasters, this is where we get to say bye for now, right? Until we meet at the last stage where you get to prove your communication skill by delivering a public speaking speech, right? That is the final stage. But for now, we're going to be saying goodbye. I heard somebody said we don't want you to go. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. This is where we get to draw the curtain, and we're going to be announcing the winner for this round tomorrow. So if just sit back and get ready for tomorrow. Sit back and get ready for tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye.